Hi guys, hi beautiful people, you're welcome back to my channel, and I am very much glad to be back, guys. Like seriously, I know you guys must have missed my pretty face. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while that I showed my face, that I filmed a long form video here on my channel. I took time off, and some of you guys must have seen the video that I posted on Saturday, where I talked about the reason why I was away, okay, for 1 month, yeah, or 1 month plus, if I'm not mistaken. I think the last video I filmed was in January, and all throughout February I did not film any content. So guys, I'm glad to be back, and of course we have a lot to discuss, okay? And yes, if you want to continue watching, don't touch that dial, keep on watching. Guys, I'm going to be talking about so quickly I will talk about the Miss World Nigeria, because that is a pageant that is coming up very soon. And so far so good. We've had numerous entry videos that have been posted on the Miss World Nigeria Instagram page. Okay, so for those of you that have gone to their site and have been refreshing their page, trying to know the date, okay, you're not alone. I'm still with you, okay? I'm still refreshing with you guys. Guys, I don't know why the Miss World Nigeria organization, they are delaying to fix a date for the screening and also for the competition, because we barely have about 2 months or less than 2 months before Miss World. So we need to crown our representative on time, like I've always advocated here on my channel. Crown them on time so that they can do better at the Miss World pageant. Okay, so I'm still waiting for them to release the date for screening and also the date for the grand finale. But so far we have numerous applicants that have applied for this year's competition, and it's going to be very stiff as usual. And like I said, I have my favorites, in the entry video, which I'll be discussing in this particular video. Okay, so stay tuned, don't touch that dial, keep on watching. Okay, so the number one person I'll be talking about is Tamonosoye. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, Tamonosoye Karibi George. She is not new to pageantry, and for some reasons, she has been in the pageant space. I think she has represented Nigeria before in an international competition. Going through her bio, she was Miss Africa International in the year 2024, and she was also face of Port Harcourt City in the year 2023 to 2024. Okay, so she's not new to pageantry, and I think she has a lot more experience. Yeah, she's not in fresh face. Okay, so yeah, so she's somebody that you should look out for. Our introduction video was not really my favorite, but because of the fact that she has a pageant background, I decided to add her amongst my favorites. Okay, she's beautiful. Yeah, she's beautiful. She's tall. She's dark. She has the ebony skin. Very attractive and very likable. But Miss World is all about charity, all about what you can give back to the society. Okay, so going through her bio, it says she's a model and a communication professional. So there's nothing said about her charity works, if she has a foundation, which of course is very important if you are considering making an impact in this world. Okay, so I don't know why those are not her pet project, or her bio doesn't talk about charity. But at the same time, I think she's one of the persons that I feel like can make an impact in this year's Miss World Nigeria competition. Okay, so yeah, I want to show you guys her introduction video. Okay, so you guys can also see what she has to say. All right, guys. So that is the introduction video, or rather, not introduction video. Sorry, that is the entry video of Tamono Soye. Okay, yes, Soye for short. Okay, so what you guys think about her entry video? For me personally, I think she was not really talking about herself. She talked more on Agbani Darego being her role model, of which I was like, of course, we know Agbani Darego is the role model of a lot of beauty queens here in Nigeria, but we want to know more about you, and I think that's where she failed in this entry video. And for me personally, I'll put her as, you know, the fifth, okay, the fifth favorite entry video for me, because like seriously, I was not really I didn't really she didn't give me that impression that, you know, she was trying to sell herself or what she stands for. She just said that Bani Darego and all that is the woman that, you know, Bani Darego is the woman that inspires her, without talking more about herself. Okay, so I think she should have done better. Okay, but all the same, let's go on to the next contestant. All right, so the next contestant for me is Chantel. Oh, Chantel Ezomo. Yes, she's not a new face to pageantry. She was a former Miss Earth Nigeria, and she went on to represent the country in Miss Earth in 2024. Okay, and she got to top 12 in Miss Earth international competition. So Chantel is a very very popular queen. She did very well representing the country in Miss Earth, and I feel like she's one of the strongest contestants to apply for this year's Miss World Nigeria, and I feel she's going to go very far in the competition. Let's watch her introduction video. Yeah, let's just watch her introduction video and see what she has to say. Guys, there you have it. That is Chantel's entry video for this year's Miss World Nigeria, and so far so good. I think, you know, she did very well. I love the fact that she brought on her advocacy. You know, coming from Miss Earth, you guys know that Miss Earth is all about the environment, so I'm not really surprised that, you know, her advocacy is all about the environment, and also she added, you know, children's welfare into, you know, as part of her advocacy as well. So I feel like Chantel is one candidate that, you know, is going to go very far in this competition. Is one candidate that's going to go very far in this competition. She's beautiful, you know, she's eloquent, she's a good speaker, you know. So I feel like, you know, coming from Miss Earth and doing very well in the Miss Earth pageant, getting to the top 12, it's a huge one for, you know, for her, and it's a huge portfolio that she's bringing onto Miss World. Okay, so yes, she's one of my favorite contestants that will definitely likely go far in this year's Miss World Nigeria competition. So number 4 on my list is Irene Ikediashi. You guys know her. She's not a new face to pageantry. She was in Miss Universe last year. Yes, Miss Universe Nigeria last year, and she was a third runner-up or second runner-up, as the case may be. I think second or third runner-up. And so far so good. Irene is back into the pageant scene this time around in Miss World Nigeria. Okay, so let's listen to what Irene has to say about her advocacy. All right, so you guys have heard what Irene has to say. I think, yeah, with what I've said so far about her, you guys have seen that she was able to talk about advocacies as well. She's a fashion model, a radio presenter. Let's see what she's going to bring into Miss World Nigeria this year. So I think at this point, she should, focus more on her advocacies because, Miss World is all about charity and all that. So anyway, good luck to Irene. She's one of the candidates that I feel will definitely go far in this year's Miss World Nigeria competition. So let's look forward to her participation. All right. So last on my list is no other person than Dion Wagbo. She is a game show host and a singer, and she owns a foundation called Treasure Life HC. Okay, so yes, she's one of the candidates that I feel like is the favorite, my favorite, going into the Miss World Nigeria competition. Okay, so let's hear what she has to say and what her advocacies are all about. Heard what Dion Wago has to say. You can listen to her all day. She has a very soft, she's very soft spoken. She has a very cool voice, and I feel like she's going to go very far in this world. She talked about her women that inspire her and what she wants to do, but I think she should focus more on her, what her foundation is going. She is one candidate that I feel like she's going to go very far in this year's Miss World Nigeria competition. But I feel like she should focus more on her advocacies, what she brings to the table through her advocacy. Because I feel like advocacy is all about giving out to the poor, giving out to the society. Okay, I think that's what she stands for. Because when I went through her foundation, she has not really been consistent with it. She visits school. She's advocacy is all about children, giving back to society. Yeah, that's what she stands for. But I think she should focus more on her advocacy for now. Try as much as possible to, to be consistent on her, about her foundation. Because last time she posted was in 2024, okay? And when you're going for a pageant like Miss World, you need to arm yourself with charity works, okay? That is more important than even sometimes the looks and all that, okay? So when I see people coming out, through their, coming out for, modeling and all that, in Miss World, it's not a modeling competition. So people should not look at Miss World as a modeling competition, but as a competition that talks about more about charity. Is a competition that looks at what you bring to the table. Okay, so that is it, guys. I'm sorry. I needed to add this particular candidate because she's very dear to my heart. Okay, so the last candidate amongst my favorite in the entry video for Miss World Nigeria is Ifoma Izuebi. Yes, she's not a new face of pageantry. She once competed under the MBGM brand, where she won MBGM Tourism. That was in the year 2019 or 2018, if I'm not mistaken, or 2021. I think, sorry, 2021. And she's back for Miss World Nigeria. Okay, so let's meet her. Oh, wow, wow. So, guys, you agree with me that Ifoma Israeli's entry video is the best amongst the best, guys. Like, seriously, I love her video. I love her entry video. She did very well. She talked about her foundation, talked about, her advocacies, what her foundation does, why she wants to win the Miss World Nigeria crown. And given the fact that she's not, she has walked the stage before, okay? She was Miss MBGN Tourism, under the MBGN, during the MBGN days before, they changed the whole format system. Okay, so I feel like she's one candidate that we should not that we should look up to, because I feel she's going to go very far in the competition. Although the makeup that she wore was too much, during the entry video, but I feel like she was able to pass on the message that we wanted to hear, about Miss World. Miss World is all about doing, charity works and what you bring to the table, and she was able to deliver that in her entry video. Okay, so I feel like Ifoma at this point is amongst my top favorite to win the Miss World Nigeria competition. Okay, yes, going into the competition, all right. But all the same, let's keep our fingers crossed for the other candidates, because right now I know there's a bevy of beautiful ladies that are going to compete in this year's Miss World Nigeria, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so I'm waiting for the Superbed organization to release the dates, screening dates, and also the grand finale date. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching up to this point. You're the real MVP, and like I said, I am back and better here on my channel. So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video coming up very soon. Bye.